Another capital city, another presidential election. But the political backdrop is the horror and suffering from one of Africa's darkest chapters of history. Freetown, much further back in time, was where the British liberated slaves as a payback for fighting in the American War of Independence. And it was here in the 1950s when British colonialism was resisted by local hero Isaac Wallace Johnson. Standing behind him now is a charred ruin from a war that had nothing to do with liberation. Around 50,000 lives were lost in Sierra Leone's civil war. It made the country bankrupt and destroyed its infrastructure. That was then, but what about now? The streets of Freetown show few signs of improvement. Some paved roads, some electricity. But 7 out of 10 people live on less than $1 a day. Poverty is rife and corruption is endemic. Yes. So-called blood diamonds had been the main cause of the conflict. And while controls are in place now, peace has had little bearing on the level of corruption in every facet of life in Sierra Leone. Rebels from the Revolutionary United Front had claimed that defeating corruption was a main political aim. In truth, they recruited child soldiers to pursue control of the country's mineral wealth.
Let them see the true picture of REF that will make the whole world understand that we are freedom fighters.
Cheku Kumbo was an RUF officer. He was responsible for training children. We found him in Freetown. His new life is the reverse of his old one. He runs an organization that helps reintegrate young people into the civilian world.
Maybe those who never tasted war might feel war is a pleasure, but it has so many setbacks.
But they were more than setbacks. Both sides in this war mutilated civilians, a tactic of terror that has left a legacy of misery. It's estimated there are more than 6,000 amputees in this country.
It is very hard because I can't afford money. With my families, we are training, and then there is no this kind of support. I'm an artist. I do painting of houses, but the competition is so great that as an amputee, I cannot compete with others that are able people.
The amputees are calling for pensions and compensation. That's already been agreed, but not handed out. Like so many election issues in Sierra Leone, it relates to the war. In terms of policy, there isn't much to choose between the three main parties. But one issue overrides all the others: keeping the peace. If the transfer of power goes through smoothly, it will be one more important step on this country's long journey towards recovery. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Freetown, Sierra Leone.